All right, I see the Irv Gotti video did pretty good about him exposing Jay-Z for running with DMX and Ja Rule style. Um, so I wasn't thinking about doing this video. And my Jay-Z videos, when I do them every once in a while, do pretty well. I got one, calling the Dynasty intro the greatest intro in rap history, and I still believe it is. Um, the only songs that I read was on the arms of my oh man, no father. He told y'all, Jay-Z told y'all how he moved. No father figure. You got a pardon, nigga. Jay-Z, hey Jay-Z, man, his catalog is definitely the greatest catalog in rap history, though. It definitely is. He lost some rap battles in there. Um, but the Irv Gotti video, and who sparked this? Mike been giving me some great ideas over the past couple days. So shout out to Mike, man. Me and him on Instagram be chatting. He from Brooklyn, and he gave me the idea to do the poll for which is a better song. Today is it was a good day by Ice Cube or Juicy Biggie, and we know Cube smoked Juicy, but Juicy was huge on the East, and them dudes that live in New York City, him, Kobe, um, what's my other man's name that's out there too, man? Ricky 245. You got if you never been in New York City, spend some time there, you wouldn't just understand. They just live in their own box, especially when it comes to hip hop, fashion, food and stuff like that. They live in their own box, bro. So it's just you have to go there to really be able to know the energy. And you go, oh, I know why these ninjas so cocky and why they feel that way. It's shit. To be honest, I can't lie. But in that Irv Gotti video he did years ago with Complex, he had revealed how Jay-Z basically was trying to copy Biggie. It wasn't working with Volume One, and then he seen what he had done with DMX, and he started to kind of like run behind DMX and do things DMX was doing. And he heard Ja Rule rapping on Money Cars, Money Cash and Hoes, and he wanted that song and took Ja Rule flow on the song, and Ja gave him the flow, and then he took that song, and that's why it became his biggest selling album. You know what I'm saying? Because he was trying to do what X was trying to do. Now, by the way, X killed him on that song, though. Um, Excuse me, X killed him on that song. Uh, 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 but uh, but that's why a lot of people exempt Jay Z from GOAT status. People remember when Pac and Big was relevant, and Jay wasn't. He was an afterthought. He even created a Tupac diss that nobody even freaking remember or heard of. You got to remember Reasonable Doubt came out. Nobody was checking for that. It aged like fine wine, though. Like that's how you would want hip hop to age. You want hip hop to age. That's the one of the greatest. That's probably that's probably the goat of hip hop albums when it talks about aging. It aged like fine wine. Hip hop aged like bananas. Hip hop ages like bananas. But that Reasonable Doubt album, if hip hop in general aged like that, it'd be by far the runaway greatest. Or rap would be would be the greatest genre by far, bro. It wouldn't even be competitive as it is now because it's falling off now, but it won't be nowhere near as competitive as it is now. So I think that's the album that aged the best throughout hip hop that I can think of. I don't think another album that aged with time and beauty like that. But he was so far ahead of his time about what he was talking about on Reasonable Doubt, and some people still consider that his greatest album. And I can't argue that. I really wasn't a fan of a Blueprint. I think that was a little bit overrated. I'm not saying it was a bad album or wasn't a classic. I just think people overrate it. Um, American Gangster was a good one. Black Album was a good one. So he had some good albums. I was in a minority. I kind of like Kingdom Come too. Not saying this best album before people get in the comments section. Oh yeah, I just said I liked it. Dig a hole. Show me what you got. That song with Chrisette Michelle, where he talked about how he felt responsible for his nephew dying because he bought him that car or whatever. So don't shoot me. It's just my opinion. I like the album. Um, Only time you went platinum when my name was on your neck, that's an actual fact. Something like that he said about Cam and them. Dig a Hole, one of the most underrated dish records of all time. But a lot of people just exempt him from that because they feel like he basically leaned on people and bit their style. That's why people feel that way. Like he was just, he just was always stealing people music, buying people songs, and Michael Jackson did it too. Michael Jackson allegedly was buying people's songs and shit, and you know some people say was stealing people's songs and paying them for it and taking them. But in rap, it's a little bit different because it's not so much about your vocal talent as it is in R&B and pop and stuff. It's not so much your vocal talent; it's your, you know, your actual God gifted. You know, it's about your bars. So that's one thing to think about as well too. Excuse me. And a lot of people feel like Jay-Z just stole a lot of his style, stole a lot of his flows. I'm even going to Rockefeller where people felt like he stole Young Chris flow. A lot of people felt like he stole Young Chris flow from the Young Guns. A lot of people felt like he held Benny Siegel back. I think T.K. Kirkland spoke on him holding Benny Siegel back not too long ago. I think T.K. Kirkland spoke on that. You can find that interview. He spoke on how he felt that he held Benny Siegel back. So I think, and then some people just don't like it, just don't like his style neither. I have an issue with it. But a lot of people feel like he depended on a lot of people to stay relevant. I mean, how you gonna stay relevant for 20 plus years off his original style? He just kept evolving. He just continued to use other people's blueprint. He said Irv was like, well, you know, he was trying to do everything Biggie was doing when Biggie died. It wasn't working on Volume 1, even though sell platinum. Volume 2, he came to my Def Jam office. He liked what DMX was doing. He was seeing DMX selling 5 million records. He wanted to do something that DMX was doing, so he jumped and did that. You know, so he was just constantly hopping around, you know, stealing niggas' flows, stealing niggas' styles. You know, that's what he alleged of. So, you know, kind of like in his complex too, kind of like when T.I. was saying that he felt that Tupac was the bulk GOAT. He told the story. I don't know if I forget who he was doing an interview with. He said, well, he said Tupac was a GOAT on a podcast or interview. And he said Jay-Z called him and impressed him. Like, you don't believe that, do you? Like, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he you know, he don't understand, dude. He doesn't have his personality is not as authentic and real as Pac's is. Pac was original. And Biggie, with Biggie dying, you know, that kind of like make him a martyr. That makes him a martyr, you know. And he was so great in a short period of time. If we talking about catalog for catalog, you know, if we talk about catalog for catalog, I mean, it's no comparison. Nobody catalog better than Jay-Z's. Don't know little late or mid 90s baby or late 90s baby tell me any difference. You know what I'm saying? You know, don't tell me nothing about that. Cause y'all don't know shit. I remember Lil Wayne was wobbly wobbly driving like it's hot. I remember that. Wasn't nobody favorite rapper Lil Wayne unless some little girl thought he was cute. Some little girl thought he was cute. Like for me, it was either Juvie or BG. Them was the two. Shit, even Manny Fresh, but you gotta remember Lil Wayne was a kid. So it wasn't fair. Him and Turk was youngins. So it wasn't fair. But Jay-Z catalog, you can double and triple up some of these rappers, and Jay-Z catalog can still run circles around them. So if you just talking strictly off a catalog, yeah. But everything that you know, that's just like telling you the title of a video. But once you start listening to the video or telling you the title of a book, and once you start listening to the book or reading the book, excuse me, because you can't listen to them now. Once you start, you know, checking in, you like, oh, all these, you know, then you looking at them different. When Cameron dropped Swagger Jacker, you know, that opened up a lot of people's eyes. Tell me I'm lying. That opened up a lot of people's eyes to Jay-Z. A tremendous amount of eyes. People was looking at him different. And he was known for doing that. Like it or not, he was known for doing that. Like it or not, he was known for stealing people's style and they flow, and that's why a lot of people don't respect him as a GOAT, and that's one of the reasons people felt like he lasted as long as he did. That's a huge reason why, because he wasn't authentic. And some people can point to how he did Colin Kaepernick and stabbed him in the back and then start and cut a business deal with the NBA. I mean, the NFL. But that's been Jay-Z's nature, and that's why a lot of people don't like him neither. He has a snake nature. I just think he look at it from a business standpoint of view, and that's kind of how I look at the world and shit too. To be honest, like if you becoming a problem in my life, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut you out. I just gonna cut you off. I don't feel like a lot of times, people deserve an explanation. And then we do have an explanation. We had those tough conversations, and I got to get better at having those tough conversations with people. Um, you know, a lot of times it just don't lead nowhere, bro. Because people not open minded. But nonetheless, a lot of people feel that about him. That he not authentic, he not real. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, a lot of people feel that way. That he had to that he snaked his way to the top. And like I said, that Colin Kaepernick shit situation, I think that's how people you know, look at his career. For real. That's how people look at his career. That's how people look at his career. So um but yeah, that's why people don't feel like he the GOAT. The Discovery is the best. It's the best in hip hop. It might be one of the best in music. You know, but once you start opening that book and start seeing some of the things that he kind of like people say about him, and then you got to remember too, wasn't like Jay Prince and them about to buy to be the first black people to buy a major distributing deal and own one. And the rumor is that Jay-Z turned around and snitched or something and stopped the deal. That's the rumor. And that's why a lot of people in the South, and you see Boosie have a disdain for him. You see little Boosie just don't like him. You know? So, like I continue to say, bro, it's a lot that go into that. And people who've been around, we know it. We know it. So, um, but hey, check out the music entertainment playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel? Cash App $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Hit my link tree. You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. One time for the one time. Goodfella TV. Peace. And like I said, you can share the video, screen record it. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section.